warm afternoon to everyone out there. Thank you so much for joining our session. We are back with the second session for this month, and today we are going to talk about one of the important topic, which is data governance and how to achieve it using Amazon Datazone service. It's one of the wonderful service which is out by AWS and constantly been evolving how the generative AI has been. So it's really important for us to understand what are the features, what is this service about, the features, how to integrate. And to talk about this service, I have an interesting host out there. The speaker is none other than Jay Jain. He has been the community builder for last 3 years, also been a data engineer associate certified, and he works as a senior data engineer as an exponential AI. Let me get Jay on the stage there. Hey Jay, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Hey, hi Sanchit. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Yeah, I am doing great. Thank you for making me come on the stage as a speaker, and like it would be a great experience for all of us to learn about AWS Data Zone, which is, as you said, it is evolving currently, and maybe down the line it would be a leader in the data governance itself. As data is growing, so the data governance itself is becoming a major tool set for everyone out here. So
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, please share your screen, and meantime, I'll do couple of housekeeping stuff till the time we have the screen out there. If you're watching this recording, if you are live here as an audience, or if you're watching as an on-demand, please feel free to post your questions in the comment sections of the YouTube channel, wherever you're watching, whether you're watching on AWS User Group India or User Group Data. Please post your comments. We'll be happy and will ensure that all of your comments have been answered after the session if you're watching on demand, or now within the session itself. We'll make sure that all of your queries are answered, which is around this session or in general how to pursue your career as a data engineer. So don't hesitate. Please post the question in the chat, as well as knock your friends, ask them to join the session right now. With that, let me share the screen and let me pass on to Jay to start the session.
I hope my screen is visible perfectly.
Yes, that's correct.
So yeah, so let's start. Before we understand what AWS Data Zone basically means, in today's session we would be learning about what data governance means, why actually we need data governance currently in the industry. Then we will have a brief introduction to Data Zone. What are the benefits of Data Zone? Pricing related things with respect to data zone, and then a demo. So I have kept this slide very little. It's only 5-6 pager slide, and the majority of time we would be concentrating on the demo part on the AWS console itself. So let us deep dive more into what is data governance. So as I previously said, data is growing rapidly. And why data is growing rapidly? Thanks to cheap internet, thanks to social media, thanks to all the OTT platforms, and many other factors. With the growing data, there comes a responsibility. So it is like, it is rightly said, with the growing responsibility you have much more, set of policies, and everything comes into picture. So in data governance, you need to create set of policies, certain processes, some standards, quality, everything needs to be maintained for your data. This data is not just your what do you buy or what do you see. The data contains everything, right from your PII information to, like, what would be your future looking at, or based on your purchase history, what things do you need to buy next, based on your watch history, what you would be watching next. All this thing, be it some OTT platforms, be it e-commerce sites, be it any of the vendor, they all use our data. So to maintain this data, every company has their own data governance policy. So like every company consists of maybe like 100, 2000, 2000, 3000 people. So not everyone should, have a watch at your data. It is not because your data consists of like credit card number, maybe Aadhaar card, PAN card, your SSN number, everything comes in the form of data. So there should be a strict restriction on this data. So for this, what data governance team do, they set up a policy. They set up certain processes that, okay, certain set of people can have access of this and this data. Only certain set of people from the organization should actually play or look at this data. So And then based on this policy, our ETL processes are also defined. So to reduce the risk of this I mean, to reduce the risk of data getting leaked, so what people actually do, they mask your data, or maybe encryption has been set up, and all of this kind of a regulatory checks are been set up, not in just our e-commerce industry or OTT industry, even in healthcare industry also. The privacy of the patient information and the health records are very much important. So this is what data governance in general means. So if I give you just one line definition, data governance is nothing but it is setting up the policy to protect your data, to setting up certain access related regulation for the data. This is what data governance generally means. To give you a brief idea what, apart from this policies and what all data governance does, this picture will define what exactly data governance does. So here in the top, as you can see, we have an organization sets up certain policies. This policies, based on this policy, we create different data catalogs. So as I said, like let's say our employee data, for example. So HR should have the information of the employee data. Not every other employee should have the data information. Finance team should have the information about our bank related stuff or PAN card kind of a stuff. So because our salary has been credited there. So and HR should not have information about our banking details, right? So for that, we create different data catalogs. Based on this different data catalogs, we actually define the definition and what all sources from where we are getting the data. So in real life, you don't get the data from one source, right? You get the data from different sources. You either get the data by hitting some API, or from some third party services, or from some data source like databases, or directly into your buckets in the cloud. All these data sources, for that also you can set up certain policies like XYZ team should not have access of this data source. Only, data engineer should have access, so that they can play with this data. And all this thing comes under data security. The aim to secure your data, this is what is known as data governance. I hope things are clear so far and there is no doubt. Now let's understand what data zone actually do and why AWS have introduced this data zone. So Amazon data zone is nothing but your data management service. So here you cannot write ETL, or you cannot do some analytics or do some BI kind of a thing. No, this specific service is actually designed for your data management part. So here you can say this is like a catalog. Okay, so how we have different brochures when we go to certain like certain malls or something like that, we have brochures or different catalogs are there, right? So Amazon data zone is nothing but the same thing. Here your entire data history has been showcased. You can actually control the access, not even like the table level access, but also the row level access, the column level access. You can actually, like our business user, they don't understand what this table actually means, so you can add those small terminologies like readme file or some definition description kind of a thing for your particular data. Not even just the table, even for the particular schema also, you can add all of this detail. This is with respect to cataloging, which is nothing but the first point. Second point is nothing but, as a data zone admin, you actually have an access to control all the things with respect to your data. So you have the control from where the data is coming. You have the control like whom should I give the access of this data. If let's say there is a new user coming in your organization, and that person is from the leadership team, okay, so they need the access of the end-to-end data, so they actually need to subscribe to your data, so that, and then you can accept the request and they can now see the end-to-end data. Amazon data zone actually helps the collaboration between the business team or the non-tech users with the tech users, and it is like acting as a platform to and collaborating between these two entities like tech and non-tech users. The communication is very easy, and business users actually can see the data, how it looks like after you do ETL or after you enrich the data from the raw. We will have a complete look of the data zone once I start the demo on the AWS console itself. What all you can do with respect to AWS data zone? The first and foremost thing, you can govern the data across your organizational boundaries. Okay, so govern basically means you have the access control policies. You can see like this table is given access to which user with what purpose, and everything is available there. The transparency is very crisp and everyone can see how your data is flowing. And as Sanchit mentioned, that data zone is ever uh, increasing, ever evolving tool. Recently they have started data lineage feature. I will show you what data lineage basically means, and it is currently in the preview stage. Once it's generally available, once it is evolved more, you can actually look the end-to-end lineage, the end-to-end journey of your data, right from the source, from going through different ETL tools, ETL code, and at the end how it looks like in the form of your destination table, be it in S3, be it in Athena, be it Iceberg, or be it in Redshift directly. You can see the entire data lineage of your data without writing code for it. So you don't need to write some airflow code or some DAG kind of a thing to actually see your ETL journey. With the help of data lineage, you can directly see, and this actually helps the business to understand how the data is going from source to your destination, what all things are being added in the between. So it actually helps in designing your agile, your planning, and everything. The last and important point here is your data discovery. So once your data is available, you can automate your data discovery, and in future with the help of machine learning, you can actually catalog the Amazon data zone to reduce the time which it takes for the different attributes to like basically just giving a small example, like uh, schema name. So with the help of machine learning, actually machine learn this Amazon data zone provides you the feature that they will name the schema based on whatever you have written. They will name or give you a proper name condition. Again, this is evolving and this will get better and better going forward. Pricing. So currently the data zone, as data zone is basically, it is you actually, it comprises of Redshift, it actually comprises of Glue Data Catalog, Athena. So those are the additional charges that you need to pay on the Glue side or Athena or Redshift side. On the data zone side, if you're using a free trial, so for the first 50 users for first 3 months it is free. Normal charges are for first 500 users, as in when you add the user you need to pay $9 for first 500, and then gradually, as you can see in the screen, it decreases. And apart from that, you also need to pay for the metadata storage, so you get 20 MB kind of a metadata, and for the compute storage also you need to pay. But since if you're using it for the free trial, for the first 3 months it is absolutely free. Here users basically means the business people or your entire organization, if you need to end each and every user to check how the data looks like. Now let us go into the console, how data zone looks like. I hope there are no doubts so far. Cool. So this is what data zone basically looks like. So just search the data zone on the search panel, and this is the first screen that will open up. So data zone, actually there are some few business components, few technical components which one needs to understand. Here we can see, if you just click on the breadcrumb, here we have domains and associated domains. Here you can also check the documentation and everything from the AWS side. Let me click on the domain. So domain is nothing but, domain is the first, basically it's like an organization for you, which organize your assets, users, and projects. Okay, so domain is like the first part of your data zone, and you need to create a domain. Once you create a domain, you will get a different portal, a different data portal itself. And if I click on this data portal, this will open up. Here this is my domain ID, data zone domain ID, and this URL cannot be changed, because based on the domain name, this URL is getting created. So this is what actual data zone looks like. Here we have multiple things. Here we have projects, here we have domain, glossaries, metadata forms, and everything. Before we go deep dive into all of this, we first need to understand what this project basically means. So projects are nothing but your business use case. Okay, so here you can create project with respect to people, with respect to data, with respect to tools, to simplify your AWS analytics. Okay, so like you can group certain set of people and you can create a project for those project members, so that they can collaborate with each other, they can exchange data and share assets. Okay, so by default, whenever you create a new domain, by default the admin project is been created. You just click on that admin project, and the in the overview page you will get all the details which is available. So here we can see this is the description. You can actually go and edit the project as well, like what should be the description name, what should be the project name, etc. Apart from project, here we can also see the environment. So what is this environment? Environment is nothing but it is like a collection of your configured resources. Okay, so as I said, data zone is your data management service, right? So and your data is residing in multiple places, in like S3, in glue, in redshift, and all those things. So environment is nothing but you create different environment based on your based on your like the data resources where it is residing. Okay, so here we have this environment. By default, I have created one environment where my data is residing in Amazon Athena. Okay, so here again, to create an environment, just click on create environment, add the environment name, and here let's say I add test for now. Here you can actually go and select what is the profile of your environment. So if your data is residing in Redshift, you can choose data warehouse profile, or else you can choose go ahead and use data lake profile, because your data is currently residing in glue, S3, and Athena. Okay, so this is, and just by clicking you can create a environment. So here we have created a data POC environment, which is nothing but it is having, here you can see in the analytics tool we are having Athena here, because my data is currently residing in the Athena. Here you can, yeah, even see like what is in Athena, what is the database which has been used. So we have two databases, publishing and the subscription. In the S3 bucket, if you click on S3 bucket, S3 will open up, and where your data is residing, that part will be available here. Initially I was saying about how you can share the data. So with the help, once the data is available, you can actually publish the data, and here those lists will be available, and whoever have subscribed to your data, those lists will be available here. This is with respect to environment. Okay, let's move and understand what data basically means. So this is the data. Here again we have all the entire step, how you can manage the data, how you can import the data, and how you can publish and subscribe to this data. So the first step, as I said, you need to set up the environment and profile. Second important step is to import the metadata. So basically, from where your data is actually coming, your data is coming from Redshift, your data is coming from glue, your data is coming from S3. For that, from wherever your data is coming, f- from each of the source, you need to import the metadata. Okay, third step is you can actually publish this data, and once you publish the data, anyone can go and subscribe to this data, they can request the subscription to this data. Currently I am in my free trial account, I am using the root account here. Since I am part of AWS Community Builder, AWS Community Builder actually provides you certain, once if you are part of AWS Community Builder, they gives you certain dollars, so that certain dollar credits, so that you can play with the services. And once you create, curate, and publish, you can actually manage the assets as well. Like you can actually see the published data, and then you can even apply the filters, the row level filters for this data, so that you can actually have a end-to-end access control. So this is what the end-to-end, these are the basic definition of what data zone actually looks like. Let us go and understand each and every part of the data zone which is available on the left hand side. So here, this is what data sources basically mean. So data source, as I said, you need to create a data source so that you can extract the metadata from wherever it is available. So how to create a data source? Just click on the create data source, add the name of the data source. So let us say data zone POC. From where your data source is residing, it is residing in Glue or Redshift. Let's say it is residing in Glue. Click next, select the environment data POC. Here you need to select the database name, so where exactly your data is residing. So this is my data here. Even in your data, once you create a data source, you can actually select which all table should be part of your data zone environment. So here you can add exclude or include criteria as well, and you can add multiple database also. Let us go and click next. What do you need? Do you need these assets to be published to the catalog? Yes or no? Do you need metadata generation methods? As I said, with the help of machine learning, data zone actually generates the metadata for you. So do you need that to be yes? You need that to be your part of your project or not? Click on that based on your use case. Run on demand, run on schedule, and once you click on next, this will be created. You just need to click on the create button. Since I've already created this for this particular use case, so this is the data source that I have created. Let me show you what thing I have added here. Name is the data source, this is the table, and rest everything remains the same. I have chosen everything by default. Next, and this is the save button as it is. Okay, how data source once it is created, how it looks like. This is how it looks like. Here you have the data source definition. So from where you are getting the data, from Glue we are getting the data, and from which database you are getting, from AWS awesome retail DB I'm getting the data. Here you have the details, like based on the checkbox which you have clicked or not, and based on that everything is available here. Once you run this, whatever table is available in that database, those tables or those assets will be available in your list. Okay, and it takes hardly a second. And here you can see it is too unchanged because I have already ran this. Okay, once you ran this, your asset name is available, and once you click on the data again, under the inventory source inventory data, if you go, your tables would be available in the asset. So these are both the tables which are available in the asset directly. In the, again, both are Glue tables and it is available in the asset part. Here there is one more option known as data products. Again, this data product has been recently been added by Datazone team of AWS. What data products basically means, here in the asset we will have all the tables which are part of this data source. So let's say in my Glue, in my that database, there are hundreds of tables, like from different projects. Okay, like all the projects are dumping into that database and there are multiple tables. So in the asset everything will be available for me to check. But if I want to create a data product with respect to each let's say team, or with respect to each project, you can actually go and create a new data product. You add the name here, you can choose the asset from what all assets needs to be part of this data product. So let's say you are having multiple teams, right? Again, let's take example of employee itself. So in your HR, you can create a HR related data product, and all the HR related tables would be available in your HR data product. So you don't need to go and search the asset directly, like in the entire asset part. You can just go and click on the data product and you can actually go and search what all data is available. Okay, once the data is available here, you can publish the data in from the assets. Once or whatever the data is published, it will be available here in the incoming request. Once you publish the data, once you create different users, so those users can actually request that I need so and so data. So let's say a new person has been added to marketing team, and that person needs the marketing data product. Okay, so they can actually request the admin, the data zone admin, that I need this so and so data product or so and so asset. Once you get the permission, you will get a request here from in this particular tab. As I am already a root user, I don't have any other users in my domain, in my portal. So that is why it is empty for now. But in the real time, you would be having different users created and they would be subscribing to your data product. Here you can see how the subscribe data looks like. Here what all requested data is there, the different users who have requested the data. This is with respect, these four tabs are with respect to your data. This is in general metadata form. So what this metadata form actually means, so if you click on what's this, here you will get the information what this metadata form actually means. So this form is nothing but to add more information up with respect to business, so giving that particular table a business context, or a or like adding more information to your data. Like in the catalog, how we have different information, let's say if you are buying some new phone, right? So we have different information available there, right? Like 50 megapixel camera, 128 GB hard storage, etc, etc. So all this information you can add with the help of metadata form. Just click on create metadata form. Here you can add, let's say I need information of which project is this belong to. So here the display name would be project. Let's say technical name is again project. L- Click on the create metadata form. Once the form has been created successfully, here you can add different fields which is needed. So what all fields do you need this project is part of? So let's say like who is the owner of the field, and if you click on here, what is the field type, is it is a string. Minimum length, maximum length you can add. Once you click on create field here, technical name again owner. So this owner would be available. If I enable this, metadata form has been successfully enabled. So if I go to data inventory data, and if I click on the assets, see this green tick, it basically means the the machine learning capability of the data zone. It is giving me this suggestion like what should be the readme or the summary or everything like that. So this is giving me the details from from the machine learning itself. You can reject this, reject all, or you can accept it based on your use case. Once you reject this, it will be removed. In the business metadata, once you go down, you can add your metadata form. You can select the metadata form here, project, add. Once you add this, here it is available. Here you need to write the owner name, and once you click on save, so this is how the owner would be available here. So the owner and the value is this Jai Jain. So this is what metadata form basically means. You can create multiple metadata form. You can create multiple one metadata form and add multiple values there. So this actually helps. So whenever someone clicks on this inventory asset, so this is for us the technical people. This is a table, right? A table which is residing in a database. But whenever a business user or a non-tech user actually sees this table, they need to understand what all things are available in this particular table. So here they can go, okay, the project, this is associated by it is created by Jai, it is associated with so and so project, and all those details you can add in this metadata form. Okay, going back to another part. So, what is business glossaries? So, glossaries basically, again, glossaries is nothing but you provide a list of business terms or business vocab which you actually need to add, so that business user ensure that they have same definition with what they are actually using across the organization. So, you can create again multiple business glossaries you can create, or you can create only one or two. So here again I have created normal like a project. Let's say let me rename this to project to teams. So which team this data is comprising of? So here I added two terms, HR or marketing. You can even add more, like let's say finance. Once you click on the enable, so basically it is available for everyone to use. Okay, let me disable HR for now. So now only finance and marketing will be available. So here, if I click on the inventory data again, if I go to assets, inside assets, if I again go to inventory, If I click on the add term, so here you can see the teams is available. So based on your use case, you can actually create multiple glossary terms. So it can be like what this data actually looks like. It is like your system generated table. It is like reference data. It is transactional data. You can add those things. You can even add what, in which particular project is this table being used. So as I said, we can have multiple projects where single table is being used, so you can add those details also here. So in the team, since HR was disabled, only marketing and finance is available. If I click on marketing and add, so here you can see the marketing part is available. So this is how in glossary directly one can see, okay, uh inventory table is available for marketing team and so team. So this is how you can actually go and create different glossaries. Any doubt here? Okay, assuming it as a no. In asset type, you can actually create new asset type and manage the existing asset type. So like based on your asset, what information do you need, what metadata form do you need to add, you can directly add it before itself, so that whenever the asset has been created, everything is available directly on your platform itself. Okay, now let us understand how I have created this tables and how it has been added here. So for that, I need to go to the glue service. Again, one thing needs to understand here is Datazone is not available in all the regions of the AWS. It is available only in few region, and hence I am using North Virginia region here. It is not available in all the region, as you can see here. Only some selected region it is available, and in rest of the region it is yet not available. So in the glue, I created this table using crawler. So this table was created with the help of this crawler. And here in this crawler, as you can see, I am crawling to the S3 path. If I just click on the edit, this is the S3 location which I have used, inventory and inventory insight. This is my S3 bucket, and inside the S3 bucket, these are my two location, two folders which are created, and I'm crawling this. Once you crawl this data, so let me add one more data set here in S3. So I'm copying this IPL data set. Again, this data set is generally available on the internet. Just Google it and you will find the data set directly. So once the data set is available, here you can go and check in the bucket, is the data set is available or not. Okay, data is available. Now in the crawler, I am editing the crawler. I'm adding one more data source. Make sure you only select till the folder part, not the entire data part. It is available. Next, in the same database, I am creating it. Next, update. It is updated. Now I will run the crawler. So it will take a minute or so. And here you can see the tables will be updated here. And once the table is updated here in our data lineage, we have only inventory and inventory insight. So we again need to go to our data source. We again need to run this particular data so that the IPL data is actually available inside our data zone, and we can actually go and create different type of accesses for it. So how to create accesses? By the time this crawler is running, let us understand that. Click on the inventory part. First you need to publish this data, so let me publish this. So there is a warning here that your data is not added to an environment and it is not managed by lake formation. So ideally we always need to manage our data or manage our asset with the help of lake formation. Still you can go ahead and publish this data successfully. So if I go to publish data, here you can see one of the asset has been published successfully. click on the Click on that particular data. Once you click on this data, you can add the filters here. Asset filters. Add asset filter, row filter for example, and what all column or what all row level you need. So here you can add a row level filter. So let's say this column, uh, product id product id, you can add what all equal to, greater than, equal to, less than, based on that. And here you can add the value. So for that, let us understand what data is actually there in the table. So product id, let us add a filter of product id greater than 400. Product id greater than equal to 400. No show values. Here you can see the subscriber visibility. Does this filter contain any sensitive value? No show values to subscriber. And if you add yes, so that particular value won't be shown to subscriber, it will be hidden. So as this is a normal id, so it's not a pii. And this is how you can create a filter by just adding a row filter here. And now this is valid. So now whoever will subscribe to this data set, there is no subscription as of yet. Whoever will subscribe to this data set, they will only be get the data which is available greater than 400. Okay, so let us go and check how to subscribe. Since I have published the data, I can go and subscribe to this data set again. Subscribe data. Acha, I am the admin, I cannot uh, go and subscribe to this data set. But this is how you can add the different filters which is needed. Okay, one table change. So one table has been added. So let us go and check if is the IPL data added or not. Yes, IPL is added, but here in the data zone, if you check, it won't be added. It is still only the two tables are being added, that is inventory and the inventory inside. So now if we need to add the IPL, again you need to go to data source and you can run this. Since I have choose this to be like on demand, you can actually schedule this like this particular data source. You can schedule this as and when your data is getting updated every time. Maybe after 30 minutes you can just run this automate in an automated way, and this will be scheduled automatically and your data will be available in the inventory inside. Just click on run. The run has been requested. It will take less than a minute to run completely. Yes, see, now you can see it was completed. It was completed. A new dataset has been added in the inventory in the project admin. So this IPL dataset has been added successfully now. If I just go to the IPL dataset in the inventory part, now you would be able to see three datasets, which is nothing but IPL, inventory, and inventory insight. Here you can see what all things are added. If you need to add certain terms, so you can add those things as well, like finance and marketing. Both the teams can see this. If you need to add some metadata form, you can actually go and add the metadata form as well. So in the metadata form I have chosen owner. So owner is again, let us as just Jai, and this data is now available. If I go to the schema, so here this is the schema, and this is, if I just accept it, so this is what the by default added from the ml of the data zone. It the table name is getting created by them itself. So delivery, so this is like Duckworth Lewis method is applied or not, so it is saying delivery applied or not. Same way we have multiple data here, player of match, win by runs, winner by wickets, umpire 1 2 3, but only one of the table column name it is not applied correctly, so I can just say accept all. It will accept all the column names, and since one of the column name is not proper, you can just click on this pencil icon. You can again change it with whatever your need is. Duckworth Lewis is applied. You can here also add any additional terms which is needed or not. So here I am adding only marketing. So here you can see the marketing is added in the terms. You can even add description which is needed. Okay, if you go to history tab, you will see when, at what time this was created, what was the revision history, etc, etc. This is a new feature which I was talking about, the lineage part. Okay, so here you can see this is how the data has been added here. Okay, there is no from where it was created, from where it was added. We don't have any detail about it. To get this detail, you need to run a lineage code, and once you run that lineage code, the details will be available here. In the data quality, there is no data quality results as of now available here. You can actually import these results from your AWS glue data quality output. So once you run your glue script, in glue script you have the feature of data quality. Once you add those feature, you can actually add those feature directly in your data zone itself. Okay, again, asset filter, as I said, you can add asset filter as and when needed. Schema is same as it is. In the readme file, you can add readme, you can add any description which is needed. This is the asset detail which is available, when it was modified, and all those details are available here. In the overview page, you can see one of the asset has been published. I have published the inventory data, so that is available here. There is zero published data product, since we have not created any of the data products, hence it is not available here. Subscription is 0 because I am the only admin. So here, with the help of members, you can actually create and add different members. So here you can add first you need to create a IAM user for that, and then the ARN you need to add here, and you can add the owner or contributor, and based on that you can add the members here. Once the member has been added, then you can assign what role is needed for that particular members. Okay, so and if I click on this data zone, so this particular account will only be available if I just open the Amazon data zone. So here you can see this part. Here it was Jai Jain and North Virginia, but here the data zone, it is this data zone user which is available. So not every data zone, not everything is available. Only for this particular data zone user it is available. So this is the advantage of data zone. So here initially Jai as a user was available, and he can query on multiple things for whichever he have the access. But here this we have we got to this page from this particular analytic tools. Okay, so here whatever access this user will have, only that thing will be available in this particular Athena page, and that thing only can be queried. So here you can see everything. If I just go to this also, I won't be able to query it here. Even this is like different thing in my settings. If I go the query location, and everything is also not added. And if in my normal page, if I just reload this again, this is I am in that particular user itself. I need to sign it out from here, then only I would be able to get back to my original user. Okay, so this is what analytics user basically means. Let me sign it out again and log in again from my root user. See again, the user is Jai itself, which is available here. Here now you can see, if I go to settings again, see the query location has been added here. So this is what the here you can see we have two groups. One is the work group and one is data zone environment. In data zone environment, if I go to data POC, so in from that particular environment itself I can go and query. So what it helps here is in the form of basically cost analysis, also in the form of giving the control access to the users. Okay, coming back to the new feature, which is which I said that it is a new feature which is available, the lineage part. So if I show you what lineage actually means, if I just go to the inventory table, so here I have ran that lineage code. So see this, in the IPL dataset, the data was not available correctly. The lineage only the IPL data was available here, but now you can see the base table, and since we have published it, so the published table is available. The date is 24th August here. And when was this last created? It was created on 7th August. The data set was created. Data set is nothing but, if I click here, so from where we got this data, so this data is available in AWS Glue. And if I just click on this icon again, how I got this data set? With the help of AWS Glue crawler. You can see here the name is written Glue crawler here, right? So this is the source ID, this is the lineage node. When it was ran on 6th August. How much time it took? 1 minute 12 seconds and all those things. And this was my the initial data set which was available, which ran this glue crawler. So actually this is part of S3. So here we should have got the S3 details. See here we are getting the S3 details here. So what is the ID? The ID is this particular S3 bucket, and the folder is inventory. The table name and the database name is available here. From this crawler have used, and this have created this inventory data set inside the glue data catalog. And from that glue data catalog, I have created this using the data source. I have ran the data source and I have created this inventory, and then this inventory data has been published. So this is what entire lineage looks like. Okay, so what I did, I actually had to try with the help of glue job also. So I created a normal glue job. Let me show you how it looks like. Visual ETL. Inside Visual ETL, I've created this normal glue job. So here, this is a normal script which I have written. I am just selecting all the tables which is available, all the data which is available in this. I am printing the count. I am just doing some basic df.show, df.print schema kind of a thing, and I am creating a doing a product ID and sum of inventory quantity. So based on the product ID, I am creating a sum of inventory quantity and I am renaming it to total inventory. So basically I am just adding one more column here. So in inventory we have four columns: product ID, store ID, inventory quantity, and last updated. If I just query inventory insights, you will see we have only two columns: product ID and total inventory. So for this particular product, what is the total number of inventory? Based on that, this glue job was written. And where I am dumping this in the Parquet format in the S3 path itself. So here in the S3, if you check, there is one more folder which was created, inventory insight, and here I am dumping this in the form of Parquet. So here you can see in the form of Parquet I am dumping the data set. Okay, let us not go into deep about the Spark white. Here ideally it should be coalesce and repartition should have been added. I'm not going deep into uh, the good best practices. This is just a normal glue job. To add the lineage here, we need to make sure that in the job details you actually add the lineage property in your configuration. So here this is what the configuration is. Here you need to, if you need your glue job to be part of your data lineage in data zone, you need to add this configuration, and this is a compulsory as per AWS documentation. You need to add this this configuration so that the lineage has been added to your data zone. Remember, in AWS Data Zone, Lineage has been created with the help of Open Lineage, which is an open source tool available. With the help of Open Lineage, you can add your lineage or you can add your DAGs basically in your data zone. But there is one disadvantage of Open Lineage for now. Maybe in future they would improve this. You cannot create Open Lineage with the help of dynamic frame. You can only create lineage with the help of data frame. So here, if you are using dynamic frame to read or write anything anywhere, you cannot do it. The reason behind it is dynamic frame is created by AWS team. It is not an open source tool. And data frame, as we all know, it is a Spark created, and Spark is open source. And since Open Lineage is open source as well, only data frame is supported for now. Nothing apart from data frame is supported. I tried Spark SQL as well, like 5-6 table using Spark SQL. I'm joining this 5-6 table, left join, multiple joins, doing some more ETL on the Spark SQL side, and creating a new table that is also currently not support. I would not say not supported, but not getting the expected result in the lineage. And that is the reason lineage is still in the preview stage. As you can see here, if I click on this lineage, you can just go and try the sample lineage here. It is still in the preview stage. It is not openly available. I had a word with AWS team, internal team of Datazone. They said that once it is openly available, all these issues would be, it won't be there. Once it is openly available, you can create your lineage on your own here. And this is the example of this particular lineage in the guided tour, which you can see. So from this one particular table, you are creating multiple other sub tables, and how it is created and everything in the lineage you can see here. So this is how actually the lineage should looks like. That from your multiple glue jobs, see here we have multiple tables in US Central, US West, US East. There are multiple jobs which are created, and multiple tables were created from this. Using this three tables, we created one more job, and maybe there was a left join merge into something like that was happening here. And this table created a final table in the form of inventory, and this inventory table was cataloged by the help of data source in the data zone, and then it was published here. And once it was published, for each individual team, the different status different data were different permission were granted. So for marketing team, marketing related data were granted. For email campaign, different tables, different information would have been granted. So all this were granted to them individually. And this is what end-to-end data lineage looks like. Okay, as I said, I have added this data lineage feature here in the, and I'm using data frame. I added this configuration here. Apart from this configuration, you also need to set this parameter true, and here in your jar you need to add this open lineage Spark jar, which is openly available. You just need to google it, you download this jar, and you can use this. Okay, once you use this in your data zone environment, you need to open a cloud shell to run certain Python code. Okay, once you open the cloud shell, it will take some time. Let me show you how the lineage actually looks like for your glue table. So for the inventory insight, since I have already ran the Python script, so this is how your lineage looks like. This is a glue crawler which we have ran. But how this glue crawler came into picture? With the help of glue job. This is the glue job which is available here. This created a data insight. So here we had the data inventory table which was available. Using glue crawler, we created the data set of inventory. Using this inventory, we created a new job, no, like new Spark job. Here you can see we are using open lineage, which is available openly in the GitHub or the open source. And what was this job? It was a batch job in the Spark. Okay, history you can see when it was ran. So I actually have ran this job on 7th, yeah, on 7th August I have ran this job. The same details is available here. On the 7th August you have ran this job. This is the job ID. what this have done, this have created a new data set known as inventory insight. This inventory insight, we are using a crawler to create like, since this data set was available in the S3 and we are not connecting S3 here, we are connecting the glue data catalog. So how we have created glue data catalog of inventory insight, we have ran a glue crawler here, and this glue crawler, with the help of glue crawler, you have created a data set, and here your, at the end, using data source of the data zone, you have created a, you have cataloged it in here itself in this particular environment, as the name is inventory insight. So this is how the lineage looks like. Do give it a try, but make sure you use data frame for your use case, not dynamic frame. Maybe in a year or two dynamic frame might be supported in the open lineage, but currently it is not supported. How to run this? So here, if I just do ls, so here these are the files which are available: extract glue crawler lineage, extract glue spark lineage. So for to make sure your lineage is available for your crawler as well, you need to run this py file. Let me show you how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. You have created a normal code here. Here I have created a normal Python code. Again, this is available in the AWS documentation directly. You just need to go and download the code and you can run this. So here you are using the lineage function. We are running all the event id, event name, and etc. Build s3 to crawler lineage is available. So here you can see I am calling the open lineage parameter, which is available in the github directly, and based on that I am adding this lineage into my code. So to run this, there is a command available. Let me just show you the command. So if you just click help here, you will get what all details are available. You need to pass profile, region, data zone, endpoint URL, domain identifier, database name, and table name. So let us just run this. I need to change everything here. So this is the glue crawler name. Minus D database name, minus T is the table name, minus R the region name, minus I your domain identifier. I am entering here. Here the information is saying, is the information correct? Add yes. So this is, since currently the data zone, I mean we have already ran this and we can see here. Hence it is giving an error that data zone object has no attribute post object lineage. But when once you run this properly, it will give you, it will run properly, and it will show you each and every details. Let me just add the github link in the chat so that everyone can go and actually implement this. Let me add in the comment section itself. I hope you can see it. And so yeah, this is what the lineage is all about. You need to run this with the help of your cloud shell environment to just show you how it looks like. This is what the GitHub example here is. Here we have all the codes and everything available. As I said, you just need to extract this script. Just go through this script and you just need to run this. All the steps and everything is added in this GitHub. And again, this GitHub is AWS created itself. You can see your AWS sample. So you can create this lineage with the help of Redshift, with the help of Glue, with the help of Glue crawler. Even your if you are using Airflow for the orchestration, you can actually add the lineage here itself. Okay, so this is what the lineage is all about. And yeah, this is what I think the data zone is all about. Here, as I said initially, you can actually manage your entire data set. And as I said, this is a bridge between your business users and your technical users. So technical users, the data engineers, they will create the ETL, they will add the data set, then they will add the data set, the data in the form of data catalog in your data zone. Here you can create multiple metadata forms, multiple business glossaries, so that your business people or your leadership team actually go and check what this table actually looks like. Since for this demo we are not going deep into the different tables what we have, different how you can add multiple things, but trust me, once you actually implement this in your project, it is actually a useful thing for your business people, for your leadership team to actually go and check the data how it looks like, what data is important for you. Since you won't have one, two, or three tables in your end-to-end project, you will be having multiple tables coming from multiple different sources: Redshift, Glue, S3, Athena, etc. Right? All things would be available here in this place itself. Here, if I just search in inventory, or if I just click enter here, all the tables available with respect to in or inventory would be available. See, if I search inventory is available here, right? Which, and this year only the published data is available, not anything else. You can even search the data type which you need, the glossary term which you need. So if I search with respect to marketing team, what all data is available, the inventory is available in the marketing. So if I need to search all the tables which are available in marketing, I can just, with the help of few clicks, I can go and do all those things easily. You can create multiple projects based on the use case. You can even add the catalogs if needed. So here, as of now, there is only one catalog which I have added, like finance, HR, marketing. This catalog has been added. The glossaries which is needed, you can create multiple glossaries, you can add those. Metadata forms you can create and you can add those. Domain, as I said, domain is your the entire, basically the organization or the warehouse kind of a thing, where you actually store your catalog, you organize your asset and everything like that, you add here in your domain units. There are few more terminologies as we can see here. The blueprints. So what blueprints basically means, blueprints is nothing but it is like, it is an environment which is created by AWS tools and services. Okay, so that you don't need to create things from your own, you can actually just go and launch it. So here we have two environments: data default data warehouse and default data lake. Okay, so what data warehouse basically means, so this blueprint actually enables your project members to connect to their own Redshift cluster. Okay, so that they can query the data store and create an store multiple new data stores. They can give access to the data, and they can actually play with this data which is available in your warehouse. And warehouse in AWS is nothing but Redshift. And this data lake is nothing but, the your consumer is basically have a read only access to your lake formation manage asset, which is nothing but your Athena, and other lake formation also, be it S3 or be it somewhere else, right? So here what it does, it provides user the ability to actually create and query the lake formation tables with the help of Athena. So as we can see, whenever we have clicked on that, this particular environment, from our main page, there was a Athena page available in the analytics, so you can actually go and create the data there. So here you can see the default data lake, as I was saying, Athena, Glue and S3. This is part of your default data lake. In the permission, you can add the permission which you can add, for which account do you need, and all those things. You can even create the different profiles. So here, since as I am the root user, my profile would be available here, but you can actually create multiple profiles also based on your use case. And again, you can create users also, like different sso user, sso groups, or the IAM users and roles as well. So based on that, you can go and create, and you can actually play and organize your data, so that the data governance is proper, the access control is proper, the permissions are proper, and at the end the data security is proper. So yeah, this is what we had with respect to data zone. Here we have covered everything: how to launch a data zone, domains, environment, projects, how you can add your assets here with the help of Glue, with the help of Athena, with the help of S3, ETL script, how you can create a lineage, and how you can see how beautiful the lineage basically is, and for your business users, how you can add the glossaries, the forms, and all those things. So I hope this was a useful session. You would have learned something new here. That's it from my side. If you have any question, feel free to add in the comments.
I think, Jay, the session was pretty good, and we don't see a comments here in general. But I do have one question for you, for
Yep.
all of our audience, right? Which has been always the ask is how exactly the data zone differs from the lake formation.
So data zone is it's like in lake formation you actually have much more. I would say lake formation is part of data zone. We cannot differentiate this. So as like how we say Spark and Python, so Python is actually built on uh Spark is actually like we have APIs built on PySpark, right, for Python. So both of them are actually designed to govern and manage your data lake itself, but they have their own distinguished functionality. So what data zone actually does, it provides you a centralized platform for doing everything, like right from discovering, understanding, and governing your data across your different services. Okay, but what lake formation actually does, it actually focuses more on your governance part. So if your focus is more on the governance part, you actually use lake formation. And as you can see in the demo also, when I was publishing my data set, it was showing me that your asset is not managed by lake formation. So what AWS is saying, AWS is actually saying first manage your data set with respect to lake formation, because that is the core tool for the governance. And once your data is available in the lake formation, publish it with the help of your data zone, so that you can add more things here. You can actually, like, you can, like, business people won't connect with lake formation, they will connect with data zone, because it's more or like a catalog for them. So they can have the summary, they can have the for which project it has been used and everything like that. But here it is not in lake formation, it is not used, it is majorly used for lake governance only. The second I would say the difference is lake formation primarily focus on S3, but data zone actually supports multiple data sources: Redshift, Glue, S3. In lake formation, it is limited, and only basic discovery within S3 is available. But here it provides, since data lineage is also coming up, so it provides you the comprehensive, the visualization of how your data would move. It has more advanced search functionality available. And also it has been said that data quality, you can add your AWS Glue data quality directly to your data zone, so that whenever a business people come to check, okay, what is the data quality that I've been using in my data set, so data zone actually provides the end to end glossary for it. So Yeah, in summary, I would say the lake formation is ideal if your focus is only governing the data access and security. But and data zone is more comprehensive platform for your data governance, lineage, quality, governance, and managing your data across the data sources available in AWS. There might be a use case in future, my like maybe some other data sources like BigQuery, Synapse might also be part of data zone, but that is too early to say. But yeah, it might be uh, a use case later on. Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. Thanks for that explanation. So with that, we end our today's session. Thank you so much for all the guys have joined the session live or watching the session on demand. Please stay tuned. We'll have more upcoming sessions in the month of September where we'll try to bring similar content around data, around generative AI and machine learning. So stay tuned. Please subscribe our YouTube channel and as well as follow us on either of our social media platform, which could be WhatsApp, Twitter, or LinkedIn. But do subscribe us so you don't miss out the notifications. With that, we end our today's session. Thank you so much for joining. Stay safe. See you in the next session. Thank you. Thanks, Jay,
Thank
for
you.
spending your Saturday with us and
Yeah.
helping us to learn about Data Zone.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.